What's up? Today we're going to be talking about how I started a podcast for literally $0. I'm talking no mic, no studio, not even a proper desk. Just me, my tablet, and this beautiful being here. So if you've been stalling your dreams just because you're waiting to be ready, baby, this is your bad camera quality sign to start with what you have. I'm going to show you how I did it, what I learned, and how you can publish your own podcast today. No money, no excuses, no motivation. So with that being said, time for the main intro. Hey, you're welcome back to my channel. Hey, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Success. Hey, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Success, your soon-to-be internet bestie and motivational voice no sender, an aspiring millionaire with $0 right now, but $1 billion mindset. Go. Alright, real talk. Why did I even start a podcast? Honestly, I had stuff on my chest. I talk a lot. I like talking. I have things I needed to say. I have things that I couldn't keep buried in my recording app any longer. I wanted the world to hear what I had to say. I wanted a space where I could speak freely about growth, God, student hustle, motivation and inspiration, you name it. Most often time, we only hear from people after they have made it, and they're always like, I made my first million while drinking lemon water in Bali. It was just me and a couple of friends, and we were sitting down, and our phones started buzzing. Check on. Meanwhile, you're here struggling to make your first 10K online, wondering if your hustle is even hustling. So I said, nah, I want to speak from the middle, from the trenches, from the I don't know how this would turn out, but I'm doing it anyway zone. I realized that I didn't need permission from anybody. I didn't need 10K followers on Instagram, but I want 10K followers on Instagram. So you can follow me on Success Destiny 07 right there. Just I don't need it. But I want it. Just follow me there. I didn't need an LED lit room or a Blue Yeti mic. I just needed to start talking. Let's be clear, I had no professional gear. Absolutely none. Earpiece mic? Yes. My mom's tablet? Yes. Bedroom with echo? Yes. Blankets to reduce echo? Yes. Okay, this is a special shout out to my blanket for being my first ever sound engineer. Shout out to my blanket, much love. I recorded in my room, sometimes under a blanket like I'm telling ghost stories at sleepover. Now, if you've watched other podcast tutorial videos, you see most people saying that you should use Spotify for podcasters, now called Anchor, blah blah blah. Please don't use that. If you don't want to go mad, don't use those. Honestly, I've been through that phase. It's not real. There is nothing like that. I literally searched the whole Google, whatever. I searched the entire thing. I still didn't see Spotify for whatever that is. No, please don't do that. I went through that phase and I came back nearly insane. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of data. What I used and later figured out that I was supposed to use was Spotify for creators. And it's not just for podcasters only. It's for both musicians and, stuff like that. Spotify for creators is not for recording or editing your podcast. I mean, I tried to do that and it was the worst experience ever. So you can only use Spotify for podcast. You can only use Spotify for creators just to publish your podcast. And get this, my first episode, which was like the podcast trailer, was horrible. I knew it was horrible, my viewers knew it was horrible, we all knew it was horrible. But it didn't stop me. I know I spoke from my heart. It was the first time I'm doing it, so I didn't overthink it. I just did me at that moment. I just spoke from my heart or from my stomach because I was very hungry at that time. It's the same thing. And you know what? People actually listened. Not millions, not thousands, not hundreds, but just enough to keep going.
A few moments later.
Now get this. You don't need to sound like Martin Luther King or like a TED Talk coach or whatever. My episodes are chill. Like we're just having an after school or convo during a walk with a friend of mine or something.
Bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
I won't lie to you, the first few episodes of my podcast, or the first few tries, was horrible. It was so monotone and so robotic. And if that happens to you, don't fret about it. It's totally normal. If you're not born with a public speaking talent with you, it's totally normal for you to sound like a robot at times. But what I do was I take a few deep breaths before I start any episode, recordings or whatever, and I hum like this. So I master using my voice, and also I read through the script so it won't be strange and have me stumbling all over my words. And if you've noticed, I tend to use a lot of hands, so hands makes it feel more natural. It feels more natural, makes it easy, makes the flow more flowy. And a free tip, if for any speaking thing, whether you're making a YouTube video or podcast or a show, whatever it is you're doing, when you're recording or when you're rolling and you make a mistake, don't go to pause the video and then start all again from the beginning. All you have to do is just correct your mistake and just keep going. Don't touch the camera, just correct your mistake. For example, if I wanted to say, and she took an apple, and I say, and the apple took her, I'll be like, and she took an apple. You see, why I do that, or why you should do that, is because it helps keep that concentration in check. It does not break that loop, that concentration loop. It doesn't break that, and it makes the video more real and instead of forced. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
English is not my first language at all.
So if most of you are wondering, here's my simple podcast structure formula. First, very importantly, an intro. This is the root of every single thing you're doing. Whether it's a YouTube video or anything, you must have an intro, right? So now, what should the intro look like? Maybe, hey, you're welcome back to another episode. But me personally, I tend to put in a bit of, that funny, humorous vibe, so it won't be so boring and get people to click out before they have to listen to the entire thing that will probably help their life. So I add something like, hey guys, you're welcome back to another episode of Becoming That Person, coffee or tea. Or I say, and please tread carefully, I just mop the floor. Stuff like that. It's not always funny, but it just gives it that friendly vibe to it, Then after the intro, I say the main message. That is what I'm talking about, what that episode is about. The lesson, the entire talk. That's what comes in this section. And another free tip, always add a story. It mustn't be like a personal story. Just add something, a story to it. It makes it so relatable when they hear you saying an experience you had, an experience you heard from somewhere. That is something that I see most YouTubers or podcasters, when I'm listening to podcasters or watching YouTube videos, and they'd be like, I can't believe when this happened to me, or I had this one time, or I had this one friend. That storytelling gives it relatability to the viewers and makes it more personal. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? And then the last but not the least, the takeaway, the ending, the CTA, whatever you guys call it. It's where you say the challenge, the moral of the story, the encouragement, or anything, depending on what your niche is. Just make sure
What the hell?
You could do so.
Just make sure it keeps them thinking. Make sure it's enough to make them say, what's gonna happen in the next episode? Like, bring a teaser, something like that. Just make it engaged. Don't make it look like the entire podcast.
Stop turning off!
Don't make it look like the entire podcast just died in that episode. So that's basically the 3 structures of my podcast. If you wanna copy along, we're family, go ahead. Sometimes I script in bullet point, like that one there. That's my laptop, my PC. I have my scripts in bullet point. I don't know if you guys can see that. So when I look at the bullet point, I say what I'm supposed to say. Look at the next bullet point, I say what I'm supposed to say. If for those of you that are not good with mastering the words one by one, stop calling me when I'm making a video. Excuse me.
Why are you running?
Alright, I'm back. Where was I? Yeah. Sometimes I script in bullet form and sometimes I just freestyle. And you know what? That's the rawness that people connect with. But if you're a beginner, please don't freestyle. You will literally stumble over your words and don't know what you're doing.
Bruh.
Write your scripts. If you want to do it word by word, just like me at the first time, I'll memorize a word and come back and say it and post it and go back, memorize the next line and come back and say it. Just like that. Anyhow it feels good for you, just do it. Now, you might be wondering, as always, what niche do I do? How do I know what niche is right for me? How do I know what niche will get me to 2 million Spotify followers? Well, as a personal suggestion from me to you, I would say just do you. Just be you. Do what you want. You don't need to do what you think people want you to do, or you don't need to say what you think people want you to say. You don't need to do that. You just need to be you. But if it comes to it and you really want to know what niche you should actually look into, then here's some niche for you. Mindset and motivation. Perfect for you if you're always that one person in a group chat that drops motivation. Don't give up. That's perfect for you. Or you can do life hustle, faith and personal growth. Maybe talk about God, talk about spiritual growth and trials and tribulations, how to overcome the devil, all stuff like that. Comedy, yeah, I've listened to a lot of comedy podcasts and they're legit. So if you have that comedy talent in you, go for it. Hot takes and honest chats, like be real about unpopular opinions and about things that are happening around you. Just talk. People will listen. You'll be surprised how many people actually turn in to listen to your rants. You can even do creative diaries, document your journey as a writer, student, artist, upcoming artist, whatever. Or if you're a student like me, you can do student life and hustle, talk about school pressure, student pressure, peer pressure, random homework rants, that annoying teacher in class that just doesn't stop glaring at you and doesn't stop making sure you stand before the end of the class. Yeah, you can talk about that. Your college experience, side hustle, just do you. Do whatever resonates with you, okay? You don't have to be an expert, just be real. But if you really want some clarification and some help with that, since I will not be available 24/7 to you, except you follow me on Instagram, I can just message me and ask me. Except you follow me on Instagram, I can just message me and ask me. Then you can ask my best friend / husband, ChatGPT. Trust me, he'll do a perfect job. Just don't steal him away from me.
Stop it. Get some help.
Here are the top 3 lessons I've learned while starting a podcast with $0 or Naira. Consistency is greater than perfection. Trust me, you will cringe. You will absolutely hate how your voice sounds. You will look stupid. You will look weird. You will stumble over your words. It's okay. It's fine. Don't freak out. It's good. Everything is okay. Post it anyway. The more you use your voice, the better it sounds. I won't lie to you. At first, I sounded like I was giving a school debate that I was forced to give. And at some point, I even sounded like that Google translator. But now I actually sound like I know what I'm doing. Progress, baby. Action earns respect. To my greatest surprise, people started messaging me and they were like, "Success, I've been thinking about starting my own podcast too. You've inspired me." Me? With my Echoey Blankets podcast? You've got to be kidding. But I was not. People actually started messaging me and they were like, "Girl, you're doing so much. Girl, at 16, you're ready." I can't even start. I felt like celebrity. I felt like Queen Blackwell for a second. What I'm saying is that just by showing up, you give others permission to do the same. So here's how you can start your podcast right now, even if you're broke. Like...
Wow, the more I make this video, the more it gets dark. I think this happened in my other video too. Why does it just keep getting dark? It's been bright since I started. Let me see if I can hide my PC computer for a while. No, that's okay. I think it's okay. We can manage this, right? So if you want me too dark? Yeah, I want it to be dark. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Back to the video. First things first, you have to download Spotify for Creators. On Play Store, you can find it on Play Store. Just download Spotify for Creators. You're a phone literate, so you should know what to do. Add a podcast, put a name to the podcast, all of the description. If you don't have any idea about what your podcast should be about or what the description should look like or what is a catchy title, just ask ChatGPT like I said before. He's going to give you everything you want, everything you need, everything you will need. You can say, "Hey chat, I'm starting a podcast and I'm kind of stuck. Can you give me like 10 title ideas that I can use that are catchy and very engaging and actually fun with descriptions for it? Thanks, man." Step 2 is pick a theme for your podcast. Now, this is where most people think the problem is, but honestly, that is not even a problem at all. You can use your picture for channel art if you want. Channel art is just like a profile picture, like Instagram profile picture or Facebook profile picture. You can just pick a profile picture, alright? You can go to Canva, create a, what do they call it? Profile picture for your podcast. Just very simple. You don't have to make it too complicated. My profile picture it's just text, nothing more. It's just text. You don't have to make it too complicated, right? Now, after doing that, your podcast page is set, everything is ready. Remaining one more thing: post an episode. Now, this is where there was actually a huge issue for me. Now, if you're using Android or you plan to use Android to start your podcast, then you should use Riverside FM. I personally don't use that. I wanted to use that in the beginning, but the interface and everything was just so complicated for me, and it was just so hard to be able to, do stuff on Riverside FM. But if you can download it on Play Store and check if it connects with you or if it resonates with you, then you can go with that. But then doing my research on podcasts, I found Audacity. I use the system, so it's for PC. I don't think it's available for Android, but if you have a PC, then you can use Audacity for your PC. It's actually very easy to use. You just record the podcast. Personally, I record the podcast using my phone on my sound record on my phone. No, it's an app that comes with every single phone. So just record with your earpiece, my baby. And then when you record that, you send it to your system and then you edit on Audacity. If you want to add free music, background music, just go over to Pixabay, go over to music. If you're looking for lo-fi, search for lo-fi, whatever, motivational sound, whatever. Download your music from Pixabay, edit on Audacity, save it, and then send it back to your phone, and then publish it on Spotify for creators, add the title, description, and all that. And you've made your first podcast, literally. I'm rushing this part of the video because my laptop is literally at 6% and it'll switch off in the next 3 to 2 minutes. So I'm rushing that part. Sorry if it's vague. Very sorry about that. And also, I just remembered, after recording on your phone app, it will be saved as an M4A file, and Audacity doesn't support an M4A file. What you have to do is download an M4A converter and then convert the M4A into an MP3 or into WAV or WAV, and then send it to Audacity. That is a file that they support, and then that's it. You're done with that. Good job. You've created your first podcast. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Record, publish, share it. Be proud of it, alright? You might sound like a fool, but be proud of it. Don't wait to feel ready. Start awkward, start messy, start rubbish, start imperfect, but just start. So yeah, that is how I created my first podcast with $0, and it's about to rain. That is why it's getting really dark right now, and my laptop is about to switch off, so things are actually getting quite messy right now. That is exactly how I started a podcast, with just $0, no excuses, no fates, and definitely a mic that was not built for podcasting, but what can man do? Well, you know what? I did it anyways, and you can do it too. With that being said, let's go to the whole stuff. I don't know what it's called, the CTA of this video, right? Well, like this video if you don't want to lose all your hair by tomorrow. Comment what podcast idea or any other ideas have been sitting on you, or any video you think I should cover. And before you go, remember, I'm still on my 60-day monetization challenge, and it's not going well. It's going horrible. I just have 50 days left. Just breathe into the mic. But that means every like, every view, every comment, every subscribe brings me closer to my first YouTube paycheck. So if you believe in underdog story, then this is the right place. So help me get there. Hit that subscribe button and let's make this dream a reality. Also, if you want to listen to my podcast, which I think you absolutely should if you enjoy my videos and if you want some back-end motivation, I'm gonna drop a link for that in the description. It's on Spotify, it's free, don't worry, you have to pay anything. It's full of faith, motivation, hustle, just like you, right? So check it out, Spotify. The link is in the description for that. This is my dog. Her name is Baron. I'm gonna be a grandma. 3%. Okay, bye. Sorry. Hi. Bye. My name is what? No. And my laptop just switched off. Shit.